I said yes, even though every part of me wanted to say no. Sarah whispered it into her phone at 2:13 a.m., sitting on the edge of her bed, still wearing the dress her mother picked for her engagement dinner. I wasn't ready to get married. Her voice cracked. Not loud, not dramatic, just honest in a way she hadn't been all day. Down the hall, her parents were still awake, laughing, celebrating. They thought everything had gone perfectly. But Sarah stared at her reflection in the dark window and realized something terrifying. She had just agreed to a life she didn't choose, and she had no idea how to get out of it. Sarah Mitchell was 29, a wedding photographer who spent most weekends capturing other people's happiest days. She knew exactly how love was supposed to look. The soft smiles, the nervous laughter, the way people looked at each other when no one else was watching. She also knew when it wasn't real. That was her secret flaw. She saw too much. Too many forced smiles behind the lens. Too many couples performing happiness instead of feeling it. Still, she loved her job. Early mornings grabbing coffee and a bagel before a shoot, driving through quiet suburban streets while golden sunlight hit white churches and decorated venues. Adjusting her camera, fidgeting with settings, chasing perfect lighting. It gave her control. And maybe that's why her personal life felt so out of control. It started with subtle pressure. "You're almost 30, her mother would say casually over dinner. "Don't you want something stable?" her father added, folding his newspaper. Then came Daniel. He was introduced through family friends, an accountant, polite, calm, reliable. The kind of man parents instantly approve of. Their first meeting was at a small Italian restaurant. He wore a clean button-up shirt, ordered pizza, asked all the right questions. "So, where do you see yourself in 5 years?" Sarah smiled politely. Not here, she thought. But she didn't say it. Because he was kind. Because he wasn't doing anything wrong. Because saying no felt harder than saying yes. So she kept going. Dinner turned into more dinners. Messages turned into daily check-ins. And slowly, without realizing it, Sarah found herself in a relationship she never truly chose. The proposal wasn't romantic. It was expected. Planned by everyone except her. It happened during a family gathering on a Sunday afternoon. The smell of grilled chicken filled the backyard. Kids running around. Relatives watching. Her mother standing just close enough to witness everything. Daniel stood in front of her, holding a small velvet box. "Sarah, will you marry me?" There was a pause. Not long enough for anyone else to notice, but long enough for her to feel it. That sharp, quiet panic rising in her chest. Her mind raced. If I say no, I disappoint everyone. If I say yes, I disappoint myself. Her mother's eyes were on her. Hopeful. Expecting. And Sarah smiled. Yes, applause erupted. Cheers. Hugs. Phones came out to record the moment, but inside, something broke. That night, she sat in her car alone, gripping the steering wheel. Her phone buzzed with messages. "Congratulations. So happy for you." She didn't reply. She just whispered to herself, "What did I just do?" The weeks that followed felt like she was watching someone else's life. Dress fittings, venue tours, group chats about flowers and colors, her mother sending her Pinterest boards at midnight. "You'll love this theme." Sarah nodded, smiled, agreed, but inside, she felt disconnected. One evening, she met her friend Lisa at a quiet coffee shop. Rain tapped against the windows. The smell of espresso filled the air. "You don't look happy," Lisa said gently. Sarah forced a laugh. "I'm just stressed." "No," Lisa leaned forward. "You look trapped." The word hit harder than expected. "I said yes," Sarah whispered. "I can't just take it back. Why not?" "Because it'll hurt everyone." Lisa paused, then said something simple. "And what about you?" Silence. Sarah stared at her coffee. For the first time, she allowed herself to think the thought she had been avoiding. What about me? That night, she went home and opened her laptop, not to plan the wedding, but to look through her old photos. Moments she had captured. Real smiles, real connection, real choice. And she realized something painful. She could recognize real love in strangers. But she had ignored the absence of it in her own life. The breaking point came 2 weeks before the wedding. It was during a rehearsal dinner. Everything was set. Guests confirmed. Money spent. Plans locked in. There was no turning back. Or at least, that's what everyone kept saying. Sarah sat at the table, picking at her salad. Daniel was talking to her father about finances. Her mother was laughing with relatives. Everything looked perfect. But inside, it felt unbearable. Then Daniel turned to her. "You've been quiet lately," he said. "I'm just tired." He nodded. "After the wedding, things will settle." That sentence. After the wedding. Like everything she was feeling didn't matter. Like happiness was something that would magically appear later. Something snapped. "I don't think it will," she said softly. Daniel frowned. "What do you mean?" I mean, I don't think I'm happy." The table went silent. "What are you saying?" her mother asked, voice tight. Sarah's heart pounded. "I'm saying, I don't think I can do this." Shock. Confusion. Anger. Her father leaned forward. "This isn't the time for doubts." Her mother whispered sharply, "Don't embarrass us." And there it was. Not concern, not understanding, just pressure. And for the first time, Sarah didn't fold. The days after that were messy, emotional, uncomfortable. Arguments, tears, silence. Some relatives stopped calling. Others tried to convince her she was making a mistake. "You'll regret this. Good men are hard to find." "You're being selfish." Maybe she was. But for once, she chose not to argue. She just listened and held her ground. Daniel met her one last time before everything was officially canceled. They sat on a park bench, cold air brushing against their faces. "I wish you told me earlier," he said. "I wish I understood myself earlier," she replied. He nodded slowly. "I wasn't trying to hurt you." "I know." And she meant it. That was the hardest part. No villain, no betrayal, just two people moving in the wrong direction. After that, Sarah returned to work. First wedding shoot back felt strange, standing behind the camera, watching another couple say their vows. She adjusted her lens, focused, captured a moment where the bride laughed, real, unfiltered, alive. And something inside her softened, not fixed, but clearer. Months later, life felt quieter. Not perfect, but honest. Sarah rebuilt her routine. Morning coffee, editing photos late at night, journaling more, saying no more. One early morning before a shoot, she stood outside a venue as the sun slowly rose, the sky shifting from gray to gold. She took a deep breath. For the first time in a long time, there was no pressure, no expectation, just space. And in that space, she found herself again, not the version people wanted her to be, but the version that felt true. A year later, Sarah still wasn't married. And for the first time, that didn't feel like failure. It felt like freedom. Here's something most people don't realize. In the US, nearly 1 in 3 people admit they felt pressured into major life decisions like marriage, and many regret not listening to themselves sooner. Pressure is loud, but your truth is usually quiet. You just have to be brave enough to hear it. Sarah didn't ruin her life. She redirected it. And that made all the difference. Your turn. Tonight, write down one decision you're making for others instead of yourself. And ask yourself, if no one else had an opinion, what would I choose?